don't know why I'm so nervous. Like, I know I'm not the only person going through this. I do this for myself, for my friends, for everyone feeling alone. Okay. Hi. If you don't know who I am, my name is Vanessa. And today I'm going to talk about post-grad depression and how real it is. I graduated from college about a year ago. Graduated in 2018, May of 2018, Cinco de Mayo to be exact. Anyways, I just wanted to come on here and talk about post-grad depression because it's been a really tough year for me. And I know I'm not the only one who's going through this, and I know there are other people who are just starting out in this experience. And so I just wanted to come on here and kind of talk about it, what it feels like, how to get through it. So let's get to it. Post-grad depression, I didn't even Google it. Should I Google it? Okay, so it's not an official diagnosis, but it is a real thing, real feeling, real experience. I personally call it post-grad depression because it happened after I graduated college. It can be in many different forms. It doesn't have to be this super dark, depressing state of mind. You could just one day feel sad and the next day you're fine, or you just feel super stressed and it's taking a toll on your mental health. Everyone experiences post-grad depression differently, and some may not even experience it at all. So my experience with post-grad depression, I moved back home right after college, literally the day after I graduated, and partied it up. I drove 8 hours home. But I moved back home, but it wasn't really the fact that I moved home that really affected me. I just felt really lost. I felt like I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just really couldn't see a future for myself. I know that sounds really dark, but it was a really hard time. I got a degree, an extremely broad degree. I have a bachelor's in communication, and whenever I typed in communication into my little LinkedIn job search bar, I'd get thousands of jobs, and I'm like, where do I go from here? I started out thinking I wanted to work in nonprofit. Later, come to find out I don't want to work in nonprofit, which is fine. I'll get to that in a minute. So I spent a lot of time applying for jobs, looking for jobs, searching for jobs, because when I graduated, I felt like it was my job to, no pun intended, I felt like it was what I was supposed to do. We live in a society where as soon as you graduate, you're supposed to have this great big job and all this stuff and pay good money, and that's not necessarily the case. Finally got a job, and I kind of in that, oh gosh, I didn't get that job till October, so May, June, July, August, so 5 months. It took me 5 months to get a job. Bitch, you forgot September! Oh my. I really was really down on myself. I was really hard on myself. I felt very lost. I was just super unhappy. Didn't know what I wanted to do. So when I finally got a job, I took it because I finally have a job that was going to pay me money and all this stuff. That, at first, it was great. I had a lot of fun. I loved it. And then when I really started to learn this isn't what I wanted to do. I've had a lot of dreams and goals and aspirations all deep down inside me that I tucked away a long time ago because I felt like they were unrealistic and that it's impossible for me to do something like that. But when I was working at this job, I was like, no, this doesn't make you happy. This isn't your dream. Why do you keep trying to do this? It led me to being super unmotivated and not wanting to go to work. I was extremely unhappy. I was just sad all the time. I would come home and just be super depressed and scroll on my phone and all this stuff. It got to the point where my parents could tell, and my mom looked at me and she goes, you don't smile anymore. What is wrong? So that's when I came clean to her and I said, I'm just extremely unhappy and I think I need to talk to someone. So I got myself into therapy, and it's been going great. I've been doing therapy for 3 months now. not my first time doing therapy, but it's going great. But going to therapy has really helped me work through my thoughts and what I want to do. I ended up quitting my job at the nonprofit. Now I actually have this really cool job as a talent coordinator for a local talent agency. It is the first step into the industry that I want to work in, that I've always dreamed of working in. And it's really cool and I'm really excited. But let's backtrack a little bit. Why did you quit your first job? Everybody knows you're not going to have the perfect first job. Yes, that is true. Your first job is not going to be your dream job, not going to be the job that you can live off of forever. But I was so incredibly unhappy at this job that it was not healthy. It was just the right thing for myself to quit. I worked there for 8 months. I tried to stick it out for a year, but it was just getting so incredibly unhealthy that I had to leave. Not only was like the environment not the greatest, I just wasn't happy with what I was doing. It wasn't what I wanted to do or anything like that. I missed people that work there. And so the reason why I shared that with you is if you're in this job and you don't foresee yourself growing, or you don't, it's not leading you in the right career you want, why are you still there? If you're so unhappy, leave. Even if that means you go get some job at Starbucks until you figure out what you want to do. You have to make yourself happy. So that's kind of my experience with post-grad depression. That is not to say that now that I have this great job, I'm happy. That sounded brutal. I still have my hard days. I've been diagnosed with depression and anxiety prior to this whole post-grad thing. Just a cherry on top, Yes. So with that being said, I know that other people have experienced it, and so I texted some of my friends and said, hey, would you be willing to be part of this and help me out and answer some questions? One of the questions I ask is, in what ways have you felt it? A lot of my responses was loneliness, questioning, did I make the right decision in college, FOMO, just feeling extremely lost and confused. I think you go from having this, you built this life for yourself in college. You spent 4 years being part of clubs and organizations and Greek life and all this stuff. And you make really close friends, and then all of a sudden your friends move or you move and you're no longer going to chapter every Sunday and there's no more parties to go to on the weekend and all this stuff happens and you just feel incredibly lost. Things aren't the way they used to be and you're busy holding on to that past and you start to really spend a lot of time thinking about it, and then you fall into this sad, depressing mode. And the other thing too is social media. Social media can play a huge part in this whole post-grad depression because you spend a lot of time on social media because you're not with your friends anymore. You don't see your friends every day. And if you do, you lucky chicken. But you're busy trying to be on social media and staying on top of all your friends' life, and then you start to compare yourself. I spent a lot of time doing this. I was comparing my successes with other people's, and it was so hard. It was like, oh, that person already got a promotion at their job, or that person bought their first house. And it was super hard, and it's like I was super excited for them. But then at the end of the day, it was like, why can't I be where I want to be? Because I just felt stuck and lost. You start to feel a lot of FOMO, and you start to feel lonely. And that's just when it can get hard. I think it's also important to note that post-grad depression is different for everybody. Some people may not necessarily get depressed. They just may feel sad here and there, or just feel like they're struggling because they're just getting reject after reject when applying to jobs. Or maybe you don't get post-grad depression. One of my friends, Julie, she answered this. She got her degree in education. She is a special ed teacher, bless her heart. She mentioned that she didn't necessarily feel post-grad depression right away because she had a job lined up before she even graduated. So she knew what was coming afterwards. She was excited. She was ready. But what she did feel was post-grad depression throughout her first year of teaching. She questioned herself a lot. She wasn't sure if she picked the right degree, wasn't sure if she chose the right area to live, all this stuff. It was a lot of second guessing, and she talked about having more time to truly figure out what she wanted to do. And that is so valid, because we think we need to get a job right away and that we need to jump into our career, but do you even really know what you want to do? Like, we're 22, 23 years old, and we're supposed to know what we want to do for the rest of our life? Like, I just think that's nuts. And so, you know, if that means for you to take care of your mental health and yourself, if that means to, you know, work at Starbucks or continue to work at whatever job you have now until you figure out what you want to do, then so be it. You don't need to put yourself through all that trouble and unhappiness just to feel like you're pleasing other people. And that brings me to my other, I don't know what number point this is, but that brings me to my other point. So my friend Erika, she's one of those people, she doesn't necessarily feel post-grad depression. She has had some sad moments because it's not the same anymore, and you're kind of having to move on from this really fun, exciting life you had in college to real adulthood, I guess. But she said something that, honestly, when I read this whole thing, I kind of teared up about it. She goes, I would say for them to not try to please everyone and really think about themselves and what they want this time of growth to be. And then she goes, you don't have to go out and do amazing things and change the world. You can just change one person, and it's okay if that person is you. And so I think it's important to remember, like, this time in our life, you really need to focus on yourself, and that is okay to do. Don't feel selfish. Don't feel like, oh, but I gotta, cause sister, I'm a people pleaser. I'm definitely a people pleaser, and I worry about what other people think. My therapist has called me out on it 5 times now, but it's so important to be who you are and do what you want to do. Another question I asked my friends was, what is the hardest part about post-grad depression? A lot of them said the loneliness, not feeling understood. Kylee, she said remaking friends, and that is the truth. Especially if you move away. It's so hard trying to remake friends because you became established. You made a life for yourself with these people in college, and then now you have to try to make more friends, and no one talks about this, but making friends as an adult is weird and hard. There's a lot of hard things that come with post-grad depression. So, where do we go from here? I think it's important to remember that you're not alone. Everyone feels like this. Everyone has this experience. I think it's important to remember to speak up and, you know, ask for help if you need it. Don't hold it, because I didn't ask for help when I needed it, and it really got to a really bad point, and I wish I had asked sooner. So a lot of my friends, I asked them, what would you say to someone who's going through this? Alyssa said, what you're feeling is completely valid. Know that you're not alone. You're not the only person that feels like this, feeling lost and confused and sad and just that's a feeling. That is a feeling, alright. Kaitlyn said, you know, it will get better and you have to be patient. I know, like me personally, I can be super impatient, and I was so focused on my future and how I wanted my life to look that I didn't think about the now moment, this moment now, and I didn't think about that this is a time of growth. I'm growing in this period. I think it's important to, you know, take a step back, be in the now moment, be patient with yourself. You have goals, you have dreams, you're gonna get there, but you just have to be patient with yourself. As cliche as it sounds, everything falls into place. Amanda made a great point when she was answering her question, that this isn't necessarily for people who graduated college. It can really be for anyone. I think our 20s are such a weird time, because you're transitioning from this, like, what you thought was adult life to, like, actual adult life. And so this really can be for anyone who's going through a hard time. It's such a weird, bizarre time, and I think we just need to remind ourselves that other people are feeling the same way and that you're not alone. You're definitely not alone, and that it's important to speak out and speak up. Kylee mentions that no one can really prepare you for post-gradness. However, you've made it this far and can navigate it. Ask for help when you need it and let your friends be there. I probably sound like I'm repeating myself, probably because I am. Ask for help when you need it. We need to remember that we're not alone in all this and that everyone is struggling. And you know what? If you haven't felt this at all, you didn't experience this, you didn't have the post-grad depression, whatever, you probably know someone that does. If you don't know me personally, I can guarantee you there's someone in your life who is having these feelings and who's really struggling with this transition between college and adult life. So reach out to them. So I'm really sorry if the frame got weird for a second. I had to change my battery. What was I saying? I was saying I may not have experienced post-grad depression, and that's okay. I can guarantee you know someone that has. Whether you know me personally or not, there's someone in your life that has experienced this time where we just feel lost and confused. So check in on them. Check in on your friends. And for those of you who are currently struggling, please know that it's gonna get better. I still have my hard days. I've been going to therapy for 4 months. There are still some hard times, but I like to believe that it's gonna get better. And we're gonna get to where we wanna be, and we're gonna be living the life we dreamed of. So just remember that. And make sure your friends are okay. Okay. Farewell. I love you. Bye-bye. Cheese.